ngaluwedde tuliyambale ngule tuliyambale ngule tuliyambale ngule olutalo ngaluwedde tuliyambale ngule tulizimba Uganda empya tuliyambala 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 engule zimasamasa olutalo ngaluwedde tuliyambala engule tulizimba Uganda empya. Okay, let's humble ourselves for prayer. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Okay, let's clap for her. Right about now, you're going to allow me, first of all, I'm Sylvia Namtiara, Secretary for the Youth in charge of Uganda region. Right about now, allow me to welcome our national leader for the Youth Reach to give us the opening remarks, the reason why we are here. So, Honorable Kamie Frankie, welcome.
Thank you, Comrade Sylvia. Good morning, everyone. Today, we come to address the media as we commemorate the International Youth Day. Today, the 12th of August, it has been a norm every year that internationally the young people are recognized. They are recognized because of their contribution, recognized because of the situations they are going through, but majorly because of the potential that lies with the young people of this world. And today, as the National Unity Platform, we decided as the National Youth Secretariat to hold this press address to speak and to raise the voice to those with authority and with power of the situation in which our young people are facing or are surviving. Because looking at the past few months, Uganda has been into a very busy and deciding moment where we had to decide the fate and the leadership of our country for the next 5 years. And this is an activity that where many young people get physically employed or get physically involved with their contestation, with their activities, employment, and also the way they rally support to the people they do believe that they are supporting. Today, we want to celebrate this day, and we want to recognize this day with the theme, Youth Participation Under or in the Face of Military Rule. And this is a contest for Uganda. It is not the international theme, because for the international theme, it had different aspirations, but the same goal or same agenda, whereby for us we believe we should address the concerns that do affect our people here in Uganda. Looking at the way institutions, government institutions, and other activities where youth are physically engaged and actively engaged has been all militarized, we decided to hold this presser to speak about that, because we believe it cannot be like this and we can't speak about it. When the military takes over, it pushes the population in a repression, and it pushes the citizens in fear. That's why with me and my deputies and a few witnesses that have come to testify against the atrocities that have been put onto them by this authority or the government, we are here to make a statement to represent the many silent voices of young people in Uganda. We shall first receive testimonies because we have colleagues, young leaders who have stood and contested in the recent elections. We have young leaders that have faced illegal detention. We have young leaders and young personnel that have been abducted, kept in safe houses, beaten, and made to see the sun when they are almost made to cripple. We have those that have faced the challenge of vote rigging. Also, me being a candidate in that aspect. The shrinking civic space, the monetization of politics can't go without us speaking about it. When you go to the general term, where you should look at the unemployment, the corruption rate, and how those with authority are trying to silence the young voices that come out to demand for accountability, that all require our voices. That's why we had to hold this, our presser today, to speak about these happenings and also to make the world know of what is happening in Uganda and that is faced by the young people of our country. So you allow me, we shall first receive the testimonies from those that have been suffering or that have faced the brutality of this regime. Also, we shall receive the testimonies from our youth MP contestants. We shall get the communication from the deputy leaders because all the regions are represented. Then we shall give the final statement and the closing remarks in regard to our press address. Allow me hand over to the moderator of the day to invite those with testimonies briefly to take us through that as we give the information to the public. Thank you.
To start with, let me invite our representation from the Western Uganda, Honorable Kamama Fatuma, with your group.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Katembo Fatuma Kamama. I come from Kasese district and I contested in the just concluded election as a woman member of parliament. In fact, I've participated twice. This was my second time. And personally, the things that, the experience that I witnessed in the just concluded election, we as the young generation, we need to raise up our voices. This is what I witnessed on the polling day personally. The Tally Center was fully deployed with the military, the RDCs, the DPCs. Personally, I was even slapped because of objecting to the results that the returning officer was reading out. I was slapped. Someone was being declared on a gunpoint. So I think that Uganda, we as Ugandans, we need to raise up our voices. We need to fight for our country because military is taking over our country. I also witnessed the monetization of politics, where our voters were given money. Our polling agents were being removed from the polling stations. So it is not that we just lost this election, but we lost this election with the help of the military, with the help of the police, the DPCs, the RDCs. I think even my colleague can also add on what she experienced during this election, if she can. Thank you. Okay, briefly, briefly.
People power, our power, NUP, and everywhere. My name is Atayere Patience. I was a contestant as a woman MP, Kamwenge district. Mtahi wanje byagamba twine entandisa y'amaani kuba akalula kutabeetulumu last January kakaba kiijwire amahe tibarikirize abantu ba bulijo kwerondera omuntu obakwenda abebembere kandi akakaruru kakakijwiremu eminyeto enyingi tukejumbira omu bwebembezi bw'ihanga ryaitu tutereza ensi yitu konka bugira ngo abantu abari omu bwebembezi bw'ekimpatiira bakaremesa itu eminyeto bareta amahe bakozesa ba RDCs bakozesa amaanu goona essente okumakinga sure ngwito eminyeto kukire nyingi especially aba NUP tutwafuna buhanguzi so ninterro mulanga eminyeto mwena abanyayuganda mwena obu nibwo bwire bwitu mwimukiremu tukwatanise turwane ahakubera ihanga shaheji ryemerera hariitwe eminyeto tihino rije kuturwanirira itwe nk'eminyeto twatuterwanirire nimbaterro mulanga eminyeto mwena abaryokwe abakwetinirira obu nibwo bwire bwo kwimukiramu tukarwanirira ihanga ry'itu tukariha omu bushumankuzi omu butari bwinganiza obuburumu tuketerereza ihanga ry'itu so nimbashaba mwena muje tukwatanise turwane hamwe nk'eminyeto turwanirire generation yitu na generation erukwijo misho akuba tuyine kukikora hati tutakikozera hati tukaremwa ubene mangu ihanga ry'itu tiryakiro mwe bari mnono.
Thank you so much. Let us have Chibumba Lajja from Eastern Region. Briefly, 2 minutes.
Neanziza ndakure soli mbisoga. Ninze Kibumba Rajab. Ate ninze Council Pepa. Ninze Youth Mobilizer Weganga District. Ate kisa kya Katonda ninze District Councillor ow'Ibombole Nakalama. Bingi bye twabitamu ate ngandi bingi bye twabitamu Iganga ni Eastern Region n'Ebusoga okutwaliza alabye byonna bye babitamu. Whereby nti okuva olunaku lwe twewandiisa twatandika okutuyisibwatiisibwa mu kyalo. Campaign dhaife daali nzibu daakukuba kubanga bwe twajjanga okusaba obululu nga tufuna resistance okuva waba chairmans aba NRM naddala ife tulina chairman wa NRM walu yakolesa amaanyi mabitirivu bino okuva mu ba RDCs nti twatuuka olunaku olw'okulonda twena twajja okwewuunya ng'obuuma bwe baleese nti n'obulijjo tufuna at least akalulu akatuufu obuuma bwafa twayemereza okulonda mpaka essaawa 6 tweyiramu okuwulira nga chairman walubyo wa NRM naali kulagira ati balonde buti twebuuza ekyo bakitoolawa ye electoral commission okuleeta obuuma obutasobola kukola yaleeta bwaki yayonoona esente edampa musolo ekyo ekintu kwegamba kyalumya ina abanayuganda omutwe kati ate budemi okukola kaluka president ate bweyiramu bwakola ku bululu obwo ife kubanza akange baanondera ku bwobwo kwegamba twebuuza lwaki bukoze kubululu bw'aba councillors bwadema kukola kaluka president akakaluko eri kabafeya era neyerangira yakoba ati yerangirire mu mazima n'obwenkani so olunaku president his excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamulo yedde Iganga twafiirwa ni mukwano gwaife yafa bamukuba amasasi on campaigning rally yaife nga president ali kusiibula tumaze okukuba rally mu mirembe tuli kugolola poliisi yatandika okutukubamu amasasi yeeyita mukwano gwaife okero twamuziika Buyende yali mutuuze wange wa Nampirika ate yali mutonzi wa Mbaawo imagine ng'alina ni degree number gye yasoma mu human resource yeeyirira kutunda Mbaawo eyo ni Uganda gye tulimu so tuli kusaba Abanayuganda mutawaamu maanyi buli kibana ntandikwa kibana enkomerero mwami Museveni essaawa nayo natwidda kumutwala ife tubasuubiza mwebale ino mwebayirira tibisezinka omwami ono alina experience gye yabitamu mu kalulu ako mwali muwere ku 1 minute yena yabaako nekyayogera.
People power, our power,
People power.
Amaina Nairobi ninze Kayongo ate nga niza Asumani okuva mu district ya Iganga, that is Eastern Region. Olw'okusasira kwa Katonda, I'm the chairperson youth Nakalama sub-county, and amongst the 11 sub-counties that makes up Iganga district, I was the only one who made it. Nize zenke yabitamu nja kusooka okwebaza Katonda kuba ati byali byangu ninza okusobola okuba nga ntuuka okubitamu because most of my fellow candidates baatoolebwangamu nga bedda baalakira bulagire ati oyo atanominatingibwa abandi nga banominatingibwa at the end of the day control forms weddaidanga on election day nga babatweireku tibairireku but when they were nominated nga balina ni nomination papers. So as a chairperson for Nakalama sub-county, I qualify to go and elect the Eastern Youth MP. We went to Mbale as Iganga delegates and as the Eastern region, but upon reaching Mbale, we found heavy deployment of military, jet, police, and we were like, have we really come for elections? Kubanga deployment yali yamani nga balinga oba abaidi okugema abantu abalijjo okwiba. When we went for accreditation, munda batandika okukuba mu tear gas okwenda okututaamu entiisatiisa era abasinga abalonzi abasinga abeisitaani bakola ki? Baalumuka. On the polling day, olunaku olw'okulonda, our candidate was not allowed to access we twalondera ng'ate owa NRM nga gwe bali ku protectinga yenga nga naali kutambula yabitanga mu baana but nga ONUP wako bati kwenda kuingira ku kugeti ya IU we twalondera nga tibakola ki? Tibamwikiriza. Era we twagezaako okuinsistinga bakubatiya gasi naye nga tuli babuuza, why are you allowing other candidates to access the premises and why not us? Was seeking for justice, but it was in vain because at the end of the day, nabali bali kulirachi security. So, as for now, allow me to deliver that. As when I will be given another chance, I will come and put more. Thank you.
Okay, we bali munonga. Let us invite Onono Justin from Northern Uganda. Come, you can speak from there briefly in Acholi and English briefly.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Onono Justin, commonly known as Justin the Philosopher from Pade District, Aru County. I'll speak so briefly about what happened during the election period and election errors. We had a lot of intimidations that the people we chose to represent us at sub-county levels, at village levels, at town council levels, they were inflicted with a lot of fears that handling anything concerning NUP candidature, anything to do with NUP is illegal. And once you have been caught conducting or mobilizing to do anything relating to NUP, you'll either be charged with illegal participation in plan to make sure this government doesn't go well. So we didn't have it enough humble time to make sure we participate actively, to make sure we mobilize. Even on the election campaign trails of the president, when he was actually heading there in North, particularly in Pade District, we had a lot of intimidation. Men in uniforms, in military uniforms, came and made sure everyone was dispersed from where they gathered. It was a funny event that we really ask ourselves, where has the constitutionalism and the rule of law gone? I will say this in Acholi, kumalawakuja lo metela mai chwao mape chwao gamente tiegen mabero mater ritual one mawakete wa michung at the level of MP or the parliamentary level kinero machal lumone pagamente ma chawa kichawa kawakete wagoni walore kinanwa wan watika yupe mitur gamente watika yupe mitimu gen maraj wa gamere ni peku waranyim lotela mamek mamu wa yero ni kubien ko konywa mi yenyu kwi we waneni wakar na watimu campaign mamek wa mopore jomo kene kimi dichente jomo kene kibur bikama chuwe odano berikilwor matek and their participation was really greatly hindered. So when given the humble time, I will speak about this in details. I remain Justin Onono, Pade District, Aru County.
Okay, thank you so much. Let us katufuna omuntu wa mu Buganda region. Muyimirirewe mulinga group, then briefly mubufunze mutuweko ku kye kyabatokako ng'abavubuka. Mwena muyimirirewe mulinga group. Ngamba ono ni timu ye.
People power, our power, NUP, everywhere. Amanya agange Lafta Kenya isima eke definitive of Kenya. Nakuza omwezi 28 ogw'ekumi 2025 twali mu disitulikiti Otuke tusalibwako emmotoka ya poliisi ng'ejjudde kabangali nga tuli mu mmotoka yaffe twalimu abantu 10 ne batukakanako ne batugamba batutwalako ffe mutwala wati nettuka ne tulemerawo ne batukiika emmotoka paka ssaawa 4 z'ekiro twali tukyali awo ne baleta Japanga ng'erimu buli kiramu ekikozesebwa okulwanyisa ne batuteekamu emmotoka ne batukuba emiggo tuva ku poliisi y'erira ne batuteeka bamala ennaku 2 nga ku makya kirombo era nze biro byonna emikono masannyalaze agenda mu kooti nga sola na kutuula wansi tubeeramu eyo embeera batusiba erira emyezi 3.5 so ne bannange bano twali nabo batasobodde kubeerawo naye nga basobola okweyogerera mu dakiika 2 nibagire ekyamutubako. People power, our power. Ebigambo byebyo twayita mu kusomozebwa kw'amaanyi musajja baatuyisamu si bulungi naye nga kulemerako saawa yonna inshallah tujamalako.
People power, our power. Amanya n'eddoboozi mpitibwa Nasozi Hope omusibe ow'erira.
People power, our power. Manya gange kama ebyalira omusibe gwaka gyerira. People power, our power. Amanya n'eddoboozi gali Muzamiru ekejjeno mafioso UG ffe twali nze nali ne Kavuma Jamshid ab'embalala kati twasangayo busanzi bano ne batugatta ku bano.
Okay, tweyanzege munatusonyiwa akadde ke katono okusemberayo ddala katufune representation yaffe ey'aba youth MP as the national unity platform has the representation from all regions, northern Uganda, eastern Uganda, western and Uganda here, plus the national female youth MP. But briefly, you're going to share your experience in general. You represent the group.
Hello everyone. My name is Deborah Owetsa. I was the candidate for Youth MP Western Region. And she is
Edith Namande Nakaeza, and as the National Youth Representative to the Parliament and the National Unity Platform.
Sharing our experiences, remembering them just brings some feeling, but it wasn't a good experience. One, it's a youth election where you're expected to be below 30 years, but what we experienced was something unimaginable. To start with, it was very unfair to everyone. The one we didn't get the list of the delegates. As it is said, you're going to communicate to your voters, explain to them what you're going to do to them, but they're denying us access to our voters. How is that fair? It was so unfair and wrong. Secondly, and as for our theme, it is youth participation in the face of the military rule. I'm going to talk about my specific polling station that was supposed to be in Kasese, where we know opposition has strength, and it is shifted. At the last minute, you don't have a say. It is shifted, and then we had over 300 military men. There is intimidation. People are not free to vote. And some of them were courageous enough to tell me, I wanted to vote you, but I couldn't. Because they're telling me this because I'm scared of what's going to happen after. And I remember one incident in Bundibuto. Once I entered, the RDCs were so bitter. Who has brought this new girl here? And then, and also the youth leaders are concerned. They're asking them, so what has she done? She's coming to ask for a vote. This youth vote is not for the youth. So many people are involved. It has stakeholders. But with the youth, we are not short of intelligence, we are not short of ideas. As we celebrate the International Youth Day, we are going to sit down and think, at a point when the military is taking over everything, is there something we can do? Because I believe there is something we can do. We are not short of intelligence, we are not short of ideas. We've been squeezed, we've been hurt, but in that process, when you're going through that pain, you're going to get ideas. You can still wake up and do some peace challenge for the better. Thank you.
Excuse me. You are from West, I know. Yes. But can you try some Luganda? If possible, please.
Briefly in Uganda.
You can get two of them speaking the other language, if possible. Okay.
I can speak Luganda.
Okay.
I can try.
Okay.
Kati ebyaliwo because nze nali Western region. Ekyaliwo kiri nti akalulu bakisa polling station on a short notice. Nga tuli kumpi kugenda for voting, ne bagamba nti ate tugenda kulondera Masaka. Of course that's a challenge. Tuddamu nga ndi mu kutegeka transportation y'abo bagenda okumbeererawo, they have to adjust. Ekirala tulina list y'abalonzi kubanga ffe abantu abatulonda si buli muvubuka. Abavubuka abayitamu nga babalonda ate nabo balina ebibanyiga olwaba babalonda bateekamu ssente n'ayitamu n'agamba bwe naaba nnonda MP wange alina okuzzaawo ssente ze nakozesa mu kalulu. So abalonzi baffe actually bajja ba expectinga okulonda olinamu akakadde bukadde bubiri 1.5, that is the youth election vote. Yet olina kuba below 30. At an age of 30, where am I expected to have that kind of money? Baina bekwasa nti oba ne ideas no attracting a stakeholders ne bakuteekamu ssente, but that's an excuse. I'm sorry. Eyo excuse kubanga what are you attracting before you're in office? Kati bajja balina hunger for money, bakusaba ssente z'otalina kubanga system kyebayigiriza. Naye ne wabaawo bali nga baagala kulonda military nga oli wali ne mundu ye kati akulabe nga totikize kyolina kutiikinga. And also, not to blame them, they have a life to live. Naye agamba nze njagala kubeera safe, so I'm going to do that. So there is a lot of fear, especially in Western Uganda. There is a lot of fear. People just can't say what they want. And I keep telling those youth leaders in Western Uganda, you can also
Thank you. Thank you
so much. Okay, thank you so much, our youth MPs. Now we are going to our regional secretaries for the youth to give us the general overview for their regions, specific regions. And to start with, we are going to start with Honorable Fanis from Eastern Uganda. People power, our power, NUP, everywhere. All right. So, good morning to you all. My name is Akelo Fanis Mary, and I am the Deputy Secretary for Youth in charge of Eastern Region on behalf of the NUP. Today we are gathered here to commemorate the International Youth Day, and we as the leaders of the youth who represent the voices of the youth have come together to share the pain that we have as the youth, that we feel the government has the capacity to attend to, but it has deliberately not done so. Specifically, I'll be addressing the issue of the shrinking civic space in Uganda. As we are addressing you now, we have journalists ahead of us, but we all know that just 1 month and a few weeks ago, NTV was banned, it was not operating. And you all recognize that most of the people who are working in NTV are young people, they are the youth. Most of them were left jobless. We have so many civil society organizations that have been suspended, their certificates have been withdrawn, and yet these are also employers of the youth. So you realize that in as much as our constitution provides for all these rights, the government has deliberately neglected all these rights. So today we are looking at what are the youth doing, participating in the face
of a military rule. What position we have as the youth in Uganda? We are not asking for a lot. All we need is an equal opportunity for all the youth in Uganda. So many youths are grappling with unemployment. Educated youth don't have work to do. With their degrees, they're back in the villages. What has the government done to give these young people an opportunity to thrive in such challenging moments? And therefore, today as we gather here, we want to demand, because the government gets its power from the people, and it is responsibility to ensure that the citizens are protected. But on the other hand, we have seen the military taking over. You even fear to come out and declare yourself as an NUP leader simply because you fear to be abducted. We have so many young people like Kaija Doreen, we have people like Bobi Wine. So many are grappling in prison for no offenses. And therefore, amidst all this, in a situation whereby we do not have a right to freely speak, a right to even assemble and share ideas, as the young people, we want to pray that the current government should not take the overall power and step over the rights of the Ugandans. Give the youth an equal opportunity to show what they can offer and transform this nation. And therefore, you'll allow me end my submission there and give to the next person to also share an insight about what the youth are going through in Uganda.
All right, mic check. Amenano mlenge ninge Geoffrey Wambale. I think it is important that I use that my local language to get the point a little clear to everyone. And if at all it's okay, then probably I will also share in English. Ewe true Yere Nzori, specifically Ebundibujo district, and the Ninja Youth Secretary have a Western region. Echurucha mnawire tukasakanaya okwa a theme in the youth participation in the face of military rule. And eminyetu ngaikaita bayete omwabyere koma baitu ehaneho amahemanga nabe awakale mesaya abandu erifiramu. Biro binene abayuthi abanene biyimo kubika basayisaya shesha erehambebwa omu Uganda munabwire personally ngalimu mu kwa victims ende ukabya ukanza erebya na ukakanye tukalengekana ya either ukasupporting omundu yiwanzire supportinga ekiba kanguhirana ya erekuteka ku wo musangwe ndokanziriri omihanga moruko omangu 2023 mu bandu ala bamanyi boha na maunze eberwane nabebere baitu finally mu batatunga evidence eyerinyilumirizya baitu ebyo bendunga byebyo bekaletera abandu eresaga omundu akabati ngendibya namakani ngaliwe NUP bakenya ham nere kigaro kyarahambebo omundu yinyatwamo inyikala webe bitsandire kutye biwene ebisinya kwa chanabiriye betu tukasaba government indi mamabi mwabiriri ya mutahane democracy then muliro buli mwima atuzinge party yanzire ne political dispensation eyakakirira yamu. Semusango, it's not a crime for someone to belong to any political alienation. Otherwise, chikandereka abanya Uganda ebanyigirizibwa ebayenda kwa kisenge, and at the end of the day mukende isangana abandu babiri twamu ereleke democracy neriba choosing ndemebere eyibatolere litasyamu okabuli mibube obatulemo ngerihanga. I think I may translate that briefly. Today, as we commemorate the Youth International Day, we really felt as NUP that we come together and we put our voices on record. It's not that whatever we talk the regime is so much willing to do, but it's also important that as young people we do not just sit and keep quiet as these things are going on wrong. Specifically, I'm talking about illegal detentions and abductions in the country. Personally, I've been a victim of both. In 2023, I was arrested for 42 days in prison on charges of treason no evidences, charges discharged after a while, but such kind of situations make the youth fear to participate, because at the end of the day, these are just persecutions. Today, as we are here, our comrade, head of the institutions at NUP, Akiso Benjamin, is now 6 months in prison, no bail, no anything, simply because he participated in a non-violent activity. So, much of these kind of occurrences in our country leave us with very little space of participation. The militarization is too much, and yet they are literally supposed to be non-partisan. All said and done, I have, I think, a message to the regime that whereas we communicate and always agitate for non-violence, which is constitutional, we may find ourselves having reached a point of having not to able to control everyone, and Ugandans will think they have to free themselves by any means necessary. So, it's not smart enough for the regime to let this country repeat the history that we have ever gone through. And to the citizens, fellow young people, giving up must never be an option. Like my colleague just mentioned, we can always gather, we can always think, we can always connect and find solutions for the challenges that we are faced today. In 90s, in 80s, they had almost the same challenges. I was reading a past newspaper. Amin, the late President Amin, gave 18 reasons to why he did what he did. And today the same reasons are here. I don't know if the regime is looking at that and they feel the young people of this country must just look on and do nothing about it. Otherwise, for today, thank you for coming, fellow young people.
People power, our power, Twero Padano. My name is Ramto Flavia Pio, Secretary for Youth, Northern Uganda. Today, I speak so much with emotion because this theme really speaks to me. Youth participation in military rule speaks to the resilience of many of us that have risked our lives to see for the hope of a better Uganda. Many of us have stood tall to say we deserve to see the country that we need. I personally come from Omoro district, where I contested as woman member of parliament. And I contested against the general's wife. So I assure you, I am a first-hand victim of military rule. I have seen, I have watched, and I have faced. So speaking today, I know how much our people have had to go through just to participate in elections. Our young people in the north even fear associating with NUP. They fear saying I am opposition because they believe being NUP is a certificate to death. Our parents will ask us, why are you associating with a party that is going to kill you? That is what we are facing in the north today. Youth participation has been seen as a waste of time because we do not have money enough. The money that was spent by my opponents in the election in Omoro district amounts to $1 billion plus. Me as a young person, where am I supposed to get that money? At 25, 26, 28, where are you supposed to get 700 million to put in an election? But you want to serve. You want to serve your people. You're passionate about leadership. So today we speak not just for ourselves, but for the many young people that know they need to speak, they need to come up, they need to lead. But how do we lead if we are not being given the opportunity to lead? You're being told to come out with 6 million. I was seeing that the NRM coming up with 6 million for their nominations. They do not know that affects them because they're in the ruling government right now. But it does. It really, really does. Today, as we celebrate International Youth Day, we reflect on all the problems we have had to go through as youth while participating in the hope for a better Uganda. Let us not relent, because at the end of the day, we are the same people that are going to be in these rooms 30 years from now. We are the same people that are going to sit at these tables 40 years from now. They all will not be there. So we deserve to listen. We deserve to be in the tables of decision makers. We deserve to be the decision makers, not just listeners. We do not deserve to be bystanders. We as young people, as we celebrate International Youth Day today, let us reflect. Let us stand up. Let us keep speaking up, because this is what we need to do. Thank you so much.
Okay, let us give them a round of applause as we are trying to wind up. For the sake of time, let me also give my small representation for the people who are coming from Buganda region. Era ngenda kwogera Luganda, bakama banga basigadde boogedde Luzungu, naye Luzungu era sinza lwagala ennyo. Erinnya lyange yenze Namutyaba Silivia, nga nze akulemberamu abavubuka mu nkyukakyuka mu Buganda. Olw'okubanga nti bannange bangi ebisinga babyogeddeko ate nga bifaanagana. Nze ngenda kukwata omukisa guno, nabadde wakwogera ku rigging na election, naye bawadde information ngeri nga weeriyo mugirabako. Ngenda kuwa message ku lw'abavubuka abava mu Buganda benkulembera. Nsaba message eno ereme kukwatibwamu nga ngenda gisindikira General Kaguta Museveni ne gavumenti ye. Mu 1995 Mwai Museveni ng'amaze okuwamba obuyinza mu 86 wayita emyaka 10 n'atuula ne banne bawamba obuyinza bw'eggwanga nga batusuubizza enfuga ennungi, enfuga ey'amateeka n'ebirala bingi. Baakola ssemateeka, naffe abantu b'Abannayuganda ne tusiima okugoberera ssemateeka oyo. Era njagala omujjukiza nti bo bennyini be baateesa ne bagamba mu kawaliro ka ssemateeka wa Uganda akasooka nga boogera ku sovereignty oba obusukkulumu bw'Abannayuganda, nti ffe ng'Abannayuganda ffenna tugenda kuweebwa ekitiibwa. Naye kati abavubuka bajjudde mu makomera. Mbujjukiza nti akawaliro akasooka bagamba nti obuyinza buli mu mikono gy'Abannayuganda. Ne bagenda bennyini mu kawaliro akookubiri ne boogera ku supremacy eya constitution ssemateeka, nti wadde ssemateeka waffe ffenna ng'Abannayuganda naye teri akkirizibwa kubeera waggulu wa ssemateeka oyo. Era ne bagenda mu kawaliro akokusatu Article 3 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda ne batugamba we defend that constitution. Bo bennyini batugamba mu 1995 wadde nga bwe tuzze tutambula bazze bagenda bamulongoosaamu mu ngeri ez'enjawulo. Mwai Museveni tuwagala okutegeeza byonna bye mukola ne gavumenti yo nkukakasa ffe abavubuka emyaka 35 okudda wansi abakola ebitundu 8 ku 85 buli kye mukola tusobola okukikola. Nene wankubadde tusobola okukola bye mukola, tulina capacity ekola bye musobola okukola byonna. Twasalawo olw'okubanga tuli bagunjufu tetugenda kukola nga mmwe, ne tusalawo tugobere ssemateeka yennyini mmwe gwe mwakola mu 1995 ng'abasinga tetwaliwo, abalala baali tebannazaalibwa. Tugenda kugoberera ssemateeka oyo yennyini kawaayiro ku kawaayiro bwe mubanga mugezezzaako okugaana okukyusa embeera. Tubadde mu kalulu mwami byabakama ne banne akawaayiro 61 n'akawaayiro 62 obwa ssemateeka gwe mwakola mu 1995 mwe mwennyini mwavaayo ne mutugamba nti ekisookera ddala akakiiko k'ebyokulonda kalina kubeera independent. That is Article 62. But was it kali independent? Kali independent. Mu Article 61 ne mutugamba nti akalu kalina okubeera free and fair, kubanga boddayo eri mu supremacy wa constitution ne mu buyinza okubanga buli mikono gy'abantu. Mwagamba abantu bagenda kukulemberwanga nga muyita mu kusalawo kwabwe n'okwagala kwabwe nga mutegeka akalulu akali free and fair mutulaga nti tebikoze byonna ne mugenda mu article 29 akatundu dda ne mutugamba mwe mwenyini mu 1995 nti ffe ng'Abannayuganda ffe ng'abavubuka abatulugunyiziddwa nga tulabaganda baffe bali mu makomera tulabaganda baffe battiddwa tulaba pulezidenti waffe atukulembera gwe twasalawo okulonda gwe twalonda His Excellency Kyagulanyi Ssentamulo but essaawa zino ng'ali mu buwaŋŋanguse tulaba abantu bangi balinga abasobeddwa eka ne mu kibira nga bayisibwa mu mbeera embi ne mutugamba ebibanga bituuseewo tusobola okwekuŋŋanya ng'Abannayuganda ne tuyimirira nga tusinzira ku ssemateeka ne tutalaga obutali mativu so ogwange gwakubajjukiza nti buli kye musobola okukola tusobola okukikola naye tubadde tetwagala kubeera kugenda ku endi gye muli tuba twagala tusigale nga twawukana ku mmwe nga tukwasa mu mirembe so tubasaba Abannayuganda mubawe ekitiibwa n'abavubuka bonna abali mu makomera tetubasaba busabi kubanga ddembe lyabwe eribawula ssemateeka okwetaba mu kalulu mwe mwateekawo enfuga ey'ebibiina that is article 71 of the constitution mwe mwabireeta byonna bye tulimu tugenda kugoberera ebyo byennyini bye mwaleeta abavubuka muze mubasiba mu makomera olw'okwetaba mu kalulu so tuzze wano tubajjukize ng'abavubuka ku lunaku olwaleero abavubuka bonna mu nsi zonna ezirimu demokrasi nga bali mu kulya bali mu pate bali mu kusala nyama ffe wano mu Uganda abavubuka baffe bali mu kukaaba olunaku luno mukama wange n'asonyiwa ogendayo endeka ngendeyo katono twabadde tusuubira okuba wano nga tuli bangi nnyo naye twalowoozezaamu embeera for now ate nga tetunneeteekateeka tukkiriza nti Mwami Museveni agenda kuddayo reflecting ne gavumenti ye bakole ebituufu tukyabawadde omukisa twagambe katukole mpolampola naye twadde tusobola okugazalinga wano tusobola okwekunga bannange by the way njagala okutegeeza Mwami Museveni ne gavumenti yo nga tuli wano ffe ng'abavubuka temulowooza nti waliwo ekikola kye mugenda okukola kye mutatanatukolako temulowooza nti waliwo ekikola kye mugenda otukolako kitulemesa okulwanirira ensi yaffe kubanga tuyimirira mu maanyi g'abo abatusookawo bajjajjaffe abalwanirira Uganda okwefuga mu 1962 ne bagamba Uganda yeefuge n'enfuga ey'amateeka n'eteekebwawo tugenda kuyimirira mu bigere byabo paka ku musajja asembayo paka nga tubawangudde people power our power banaye mukama wange agenda kuwunzika agenda tuwa akasembayo naye nsuubira abadde ayogera nnyo oluzungu ajja tuwaako ne mu Luganda ku lwa BBS Telefina ne CBS.
Thank you, comrades, for that elaborate report and analysis of what is happening to the young people of our country. I want to start by reminding our young people, your participation in the affairs of our country is not a favor from those holding authority. It is your citizenship right. Let no one tell you where you should stop. We've heard stories of Twarwana, I think they say that, telling us to have limits on how we should demand and hold government accountable because they believe they did us a favor by going to the bush to fight and defend what they believed in. And they are the same people telling us not to do the same, telling us not to stand up against the odds, to raise the voices. So I want to remind you, young people, young Ugandans, the more we move by the tone set by those holding authority, the more we shall continue to suffer. The same people that led strikes in the 1980s are the same people denying a pay to the medical interns right now. They are the same people silencing their voices. But when you look at even the cost of living back then and now, you know how much everyone needs support, especially from his or her government. So let us be woken up so that we fight now when we still have the chance and hope, so that we don't inherit fear, but inherit a country that will give each and every one a right to be free, a right to decide on the leadership. My comrade spoke about vote rigging, and many people undermine the effect or how vote rigging can affect them. I want to remind you, every decision that is made by a leader affects you. even if it is not made by you with your input, it will still come back to you because it is you that it is targeting. In the recent parliament, when I was still a member, there are laws that they passed and we were against them. And to our colleagues, some of them thought that maybe we were just opposing for nothing. But up to now, some of them even faced the effects of such laws before us. The same government that is telling us that we are going in Chisanja, no sleep, they're the same people suppressing and suffocating the raising young voices. So on this day, today, we want to make a statement as the National Unity Platform, as the youth wing, looking at the situation and the way our leaders, the party leader, the people that have been the face of the struggle, whereby they have all been pushed to run in fear for their life. We believe as the young people of this country, we are not going to run. We are not going to fear. We are not going to coward. I want to remind you that your voices matter. Your rights matter. Your dignity matter. So, it will be us to wake up, stand up, defend what we believe in, and build what we believe will sustain us and the future that is to come for our country. I know in the situation we are in, we still have comrades that are still rotting in jail. Recently, we were celebrating the release of 9 of our comrades who have spent 6 of their youthful age in prison. There is no compensation that is going to them. There is no reason government will ever give to clarify or to rectify why they had to detain them for such a long time. So, this should speak to all of us. Every Ugandan, the parents, the leaders, political leaders, the cultural leaders, the religious leaders, it is a time to unite. We have no any other time. We don't need to have men in uniform come in your offices to know that you're facing military rule. But the mere fact that your decisions and your ideas don't matter, but you're just imposed on what you should do or what you should take on, should speak volumes to a country we are living in today. And it is to that effect that we call upon everyone to stand with every voice that stands up to speak against the atrocities and the happenings of the regime. It is to that moment that we request all of us, the young and the old, the youth and the elderly, this is going to be collective. We shall steer it as the young people, and we shall need your backing. Very soon, we shall be activating our regional conventions. Away from the past happenings, where we used to have one event, uniting youths from all the parts of the country, this time around we want to move closer to you. We're going to do regional conventions. Before this year ends, we shall have communicated the dates and the venue and where we shall start from. So we see a free country that anytime when you receive a message calling upon you to raise, please stand with the voices that are going to be standing up. We are going to activate our activism button. We believe a lot has happened when we try to dialogue. A lot has happened when we try to sit in the conference rooms to speak with those that are holding power, hoping that maybe they will listen to our voices and go and implement or have change in what they are doing. But nothing has changed yet. So, bagamba mpulukutuza misota zigenda na migo ne government we bayamanyira ebyo, then we shall do that. Thank you. Olwaleero ennaku z'omwezi 12 omwezi ogw'omunaana omwaka ogwa 2026 tukuza olunaku lw'abavubuka. Olunaku luno lukuzibwa mu nsi yonna era emiramwa egy'enjawulo giteekebwawo okubanga gikuzibwa abavubuka ab'enjawulo. Olwaleero ffe ng'abavubuka aba National Youth Platform nga tukiikirira bannaffe enkuyanja abatasobodde kuba naffe olunaku olwaleero, tuzze okwogera ku mulamwa ogw'eggwanga abavubuka lye beenyigiramu naye nga bali mu ffuga ery'amagye oba mu buwambe obw'amagye. Eggwanga lyaffe Uganda newankubadde nga abavubuka bakola ebitundu ebisinga obungi, basigadde amaloboozi gaabwe tigawulizibwa. Abavuddeyo okwogera abatonotono beesanze mu mbeera nti bwe batawambibwa basibibwa, bwe batasibibwa battibwa, abatattiddwa tukyabanoonya titumanyi ki kyabakolebwako, naye ng'amaloboozi gaabo abavuddeyo abasinga gasanze enkomekerero y'emu, abamu nga bali mu makomera, abamu nga battiddwa ne tubaziika. Naye ebyo bonna wadde bibeerawo, njagala okujjukiza abavubuka abaffe ng'abavubuka tulina eggwanga ery'okusikira, era ekintu kimu kyenyinza okukakasa gavumenti n'abo abawambye obuyinza, tetugenda kusikira ggwanga lya kutya, naye twagala tusikire eggwanga eriwa ekitiibwa buli muntu mu ndowooza ye, erimuwa eddembe lye okwesalirawo ani mukulembeze we, ate era erimuwa eddembe lye okuba ng'akola ky'alina okukola ekimuweebwa ssemateeka, so si ggwe nga omuntu nti kino kyensiimye oba kino kyenjagala. So nyongera okujjukiza abavubuka nti guno gugenda kuba mulimu gwaffe ffenna, ewatali kwetiiririra, ewatali kwesosola, ewatali kwesaasira. Tujja kubasaba mwenna muyimuse amaloboozi gammwe. W'olengedde ekikyamu yimuka okiwakanye nga w'olina okukiwakanya. W'olengedde w'osobola okugatta ettaffaali ligatteko nga ggwe wekka asobola okukikola. Ate era ne bannaffe abavuddeyo ne babaako kye bagattako, twongere okubazzaamu amaanyi n'okubasiima nga bakola omulimu gw'okulwanirira eggwanga lyaffe Uganda. Ekyamazima kya nnaku mu kaseera kano nga akulembera ekibiina kyaffe adduse okutaasa obulamu bwe. Olw'okuba mutabani wa pulezidenti eyabba obuyinza nga naye teyawangula, naye oli ne yajja olw'okuba muwadde okukulembera eggye ly'eggwanga, n'asalawo nti ye ajja kulagira ani alina okuttibwa, ani alina okukwatibwa, ani alina okuwambibwa. Ne kireetera abakulembeze abangi abadde balwanirira oba babadde feesi ekyokulabirako eky'abantu abadde mu lutabaalo okubanga badduka eggwanga okutaasa obulamu bwabwe. Ffe ng'abavubuka tetugenda kudduka, tetugenda kutya, tetugenda kwetiiririra, ate tetugenda kwekkiriranya. Tujja sigala nga tukola ekyo kye tulina okukola. Tujja yimusa eddoboozi lyaffe ne liba nga ligenda kusanga kutya kwa kufa, kuba tukimanyi n'abo abatiisatiisa n'okufa nabo munnaye balina okufa, wadde tebaagala kukiwulira, ne nabo bakimanyi essaawa egenda tuuka nga tebakyaliwo. Uganda ebaddewo ng'ekulemberwa Amin, Uganda yaliwo ng'ekulemberwa Abazungu, Uganda yaliwo ng'ekulemberwa Obote. Twagala okujjukiza n'abo abalinnya eddembe lyaffe nti Uganda ejja sigalawo nga tebaliiwo. Kati nno tutegeeza abavubuka baffe ng'oggyeko enkola ebaddewo emyaka egiyise emabega, bwe tubaddenga n'olukuŋŋaana okwogera ku nsonga z'abavubuka lumu omwaka, omulundi guno twagala okubategeeza titugenda kujja n'enkuŋŋaana mu bitundu byammwe bye muvaamu. Buli region ey'eggwanga Uganda tugenda teekayo olukuŋŋaana. Olukuŋŋaana luno lugenda kuba kwogera ku nsonga zaffe na butya bwe tulina okutambuza olutabaalo olw'okununula ensi yaffe. Era twongera okukozesa akatuuti kano okoowoola abazadde, kuba tukkiriza nti buli muvubuka alina omuzadde yamuzaala. Tukozesa akatuuti kano okoowoola bannaddiini, mmwe abalyowo emyoyo egy'abo abalungi n'abakyamu, okoowoola abakulembeze ab'ennono okuva mu bitundu byonna eby'eggwanga Uganda, okoowoola abantu mwenna kisekinnoomu okulaba nga tuyimukira wamu. Ekyamazima tetwetaaga bantu kwambala byambalo bya bibombola kujja mu maka gammwe oba kujja ku ofiisi zammwe bategeeza nti eggwanga lyaffe liwambibwa. Mulabire ku biteeso ebireetebwa nga tebakkiriza maloboozi gammwe na ntegeera yammwe kubanga egenda kubyenyigiramu, wabula nga bebasulako obusuuzi nga mulina okubikola mutegeere nti ddala kituufu eggwanga lyaffe liri mu buwambe. Awo nno nammwe mufune amaanyi agatwegattako okulaba nga tusitula eddoboozi ery'omwanguka, okulaba nga tusitukira wamu tulwanirire eggwanga lyaffe Uganda, nga twegatta ku bannaffe abali mu mawanga ag'ebweru, nga tuyimusa amaloboozi wano, tukkiriza tujja kusobola okununula ensi yaffe era tujja kuba n'eggwanga erisinga ku lye tulimu kati nga tumaze okukyusa obukulembeze bw'eggwanga lino. Ku lwa Katonda n'ensi yange tweyanze ne tweyanze.
Badde nsaba Deputy Chairperson wa Kampala Central w'abavubuka ajja atuwe anthem nga tuggalawo.
People power. Our power. NUP. Everywhere. Kunga Kyagulanyi kunga. Kunga bavubuka kunga. Kunga mwena mwena kunga. Oh, lutalo.
Some questions?
Ask independent. We shall ask independent.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. Amanya Bampita Jingo Muhammad, the Ghetto Judge Boss, Deputy Youth Kampala Central, National Unity Flag Bearer, Kamochatu Parish. Era nga nze omu ku basibe abaasibibwa nga tuli mu kalulu ka pulezidenti era ne tugenda e Luzira Mungu natusasira ne tuvaayo naye tetugwangamu maanyi era nga tukyali mu lutabaalo era nga mbeebaza mwena abasobodde okubeera ku National Youth Day yaffe mu nsi yonna. People power. O Uganda, may God uphold thee. We live our future in thy hand. United free for liberty, together we always stand. Oh, lutalo ngaluwedde tuliyambale ngule, tuliyambale ngule, tuliyambale ngule. Oh, lutalo ngaluwedde tuliyambale ngule, tulizimba Uganda empya. People power. Our power. People power. NUP. Everywhere. NUP. Even here. NUP. Kunga Kyagulanyi kunga. Kunga Central kunga. Kunga Kampala kunga. Kunga bavubuka mwena kunga. People power.